come up with a pattern, maybe a zigzag pattern for that section. Looks like the letter M. Or maybe here I could do something like my leaf. Okay. For those of you that have trouble doing this leafy shape, okay, I do have a suggestion. This is why I give you scrap paper to practice. If you do a circle, and this would be in pencil, of course, with a little hat on top, then you just erase out that line right there, and you have your shape. Okay? Or just practice until you get the shape that you like. Alright? So there we go. That could be my one design pattern. Or I could come up with another one. Maybe I only want to cut this in half like this. So maybe I could do something like maybe a couple curved lines, a circle, part of a circle. Maybe I do a wavy line instead. Okay? But you do want to keep it bold. And then maybe in this last one I could do something like a diamond shape. Okay? Does that make sense to everybody? Kind of where I'm going? So once you're happy with something, so let's say I like this one, that's my favorite. Then you're going to go to the good paper. You only get one slice of this. This is actually pastel paper. It's not construction paper, it's chalk pastel paper. Okay? And what you're going to do is line up your template the best that you can. By no means am I perfect cutting the paper all the time. I'll never say that is perfect. But try to match it up at a corner along the bottom. And the only line you need to draw, again, you're going to do this with pencil, but since it's on black paper, I'm going to use a white colored pencil. You just have to draw that one line. Okay? Again, yours will be in pencil. Then you're going to enlarge your design that you just came up with on the scrap paper. So I had, if I hold it this way, okay, I have 2 lines first. So starting from my corner, I'm going to do, let me see, I'll come out this far maybe, a curve, or let me show you a little trick somebody taught me yesterday, one of the 3rd graders. You could actually pull your tracer down, right, about halfway. Couldn't I just retrace that curve if I have trouble doing it straight? Or not straight, but curved nicely? Would that work out okay? Alright. And then I can go ahead and I can make my design. So in here, if you remember, I had a zigzag. The M, now it's bigger, so I might have a couple extra lines in here. You never know. Part of the line. Okay. If I wanted to, I'm actually thinking, well, I'll do my leaf shapes first, and then I'll show you what I came up with in my head. I'll do my leaf up here. Okay. And draw lightly with pencil because you might have to erase it. And I kind of noticed that since I didn't evenly put my curved lines, I have these huge spaces in here. So as I'm working, I'm thinking, that needs something. Okay? So what I'm thinking is, what if I added something? Am I allowed to add something to my design? Yes. Absolutely. I could add either, I'm thinking, in my mind, a little triangle could look cool coming down, or I could put a circle. What do you think I should do? Or, check it out, let's do both. What if I did? Oh! Now, I'm happy with this design because there's a couple of things. I know, Jack, you're thinking, what if you do add some more? At one point, you have to say, is it bold enough? Which means, are the shapes big enough? Because, as you know, the next step is to outline in glue. So, let's talk about that. If your shapes are teeny tiny, is the glue going to be easy to outline? No. So you want to make sure, now I don't have a placemat, so let me be good. Put my placemat under. Now your pencil lines will be very kind of just shiny. You definitely don't want to do this in white like I did because the point of using glue on top is so that the paper stays black in this area, okay? But this will make it easier for you to see. You're going to take your the paper. Like I'm using it like a pencil. So the only problem with our glue, as you know, is that sometimes they can be clogged. On your tables, I already put some glue bottles for you. Okay, there are some extras up front. You may need to, like, get it unclogged. I did check to see that I could hear the air coming out. So just shake the glue down if it's running a little low. We're on our last legs of glue this year. I ordered more for next year, don't worry. But I want to make sure that you don't struggle too much. Okay? Now, once you outline everything, okay, I'm just going to stop there, then both this paper and your placemat will go on the black drying rack together so it dries flat, and hopefully you don't have puddles of glue falling off the edge of your placemat. That's my hope. Let me just flip to this one to show you kind of where we're headed for next time, okay? As a final, now the glue is hard to see because it's dry now, right? So let me zoom in a little bit. But what you can see though is where the black lines are, that's where my glue is. We're going to use chalk pastel on top of the whole thing, and then the glue areas will stay black. Everybody see what's going to happen? Now, one little word of warning, please do not design your picture outside of your curved line that you add. So this whole section is going to stay black, and that will look really cool when I have 120 on the wall. You know what I mean? And that black section will help me separate them all. Rooney sees where I'm going. I saw the light bulb go off, right? Can you see where this is headed? Okay. So today, after you're done gluing, what I need you to do is make sure that you wash your hands, clean up your spot,